pilgrimage is for a thing. My pilgrimage is for peace. Peace among nations, peace among groups, peace with our environment, but also peace among individuals.
With our eyes wide shut in the still of the night, we sit and hold the vision. When the fears burn wild, we don't run and hide. We see a world with no division. We see with one love, one heart, one drum beating to a song they're singing us home. We dance in white light under the starlight. We are the sacred seeds of the sound of Om. We say Aho, Amen, Om Shanti Om. And we say Aho, Amen, Om Shanti Om. We are the movers and the shakers and the peacemakers. We are the movers and the shakers and the peacemakers. Well, in your eyes we see your other side.
and the very, very important inner peace.
Good morning, Unity of Syracuse, fellows movers and shakers and peacemakers. I say good morning and welcome, and thank you for joining us on our video love stream. We are glad that you are here this morning. My name is Natasha Schmidt, and I'm your platform assistant for today. Thank you once again for joining us, and out of caution, all of our services are online only for the month of February, but our love stream of our Sunday offering is always available on YouTube and now on Facebook. So regardless of what platform you're joining us on, give us a like, subscribe, share this out, and stay connected with our ministry. And let's see, the order of service is listed in the description box if you're joining on YouTube, along with other useful links. And now we will do a reading from today's daily word. Sunday, February 6, 2022, our word is dominion. Claiming dominion, I am calm and confident. I am a powerful spiritual being endowed with dominion, the authority to take command of my thoughts, words, and actions. Even as I work to change my circumstances, I remember I am not constrained by what is happening around me. Claiming dominion, I choose my response in all situations. I live with poise and confidence. I claim dominion over my thoughts and feelings. When I recognize limiting thoughts, I train myself to affirm my spiritual power and freedom. Divine wisdom guides me. I feel the strength of the indwelling Christ presence, moment by moment, thought by thought, as I use my dominion to establish a positive, fulfilling direction for my life. And our Bible verse for today, then God said, "Let us make humankind in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion." From Genesis 1, verse 26. And as I was reflecting on today's daily word, dominion, there's an excerpt from the 12 Powers of Man, and it reads, "Man can never exercise dominion until he knows who and what he is." For me, this Bible verse explains who we are. It's stated in the plural form: the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I am one part of this whole. To exercise dominion and fully realize my sovereignty, I must know my part of the whole. I have to know the cause, which is God, and that I am the expression of God's character, made in the image of. This is reflected in my reasoning, my creativity, my morality, the words I speak. Dominion for me is to move with this knowing that I am one part of the whole. I move as a divine expression through and with this earth and all of its inhabitants. Dominion. Now we'll move on to announcements. We have a weekly email bulletin and the website calendar listing our ongoing events, but here are the highlights for this week. The nominating committee welcomes potential board candidates to run for this year's election at our annual meeting on March 20th. To receive information regarding the application process, please contact Nancy Hazard. Here is her email address if you'd like to write it down, or I'm sure you could reach out to someone at the church office to get it, but it is hazardn11@yahoo.com. Interested candidates may apply by sending applications to Unity's office by February 15th, and we thank you if you do decide to take on this endeavor. In place of our usual social justice discussion group on February 13th, participants are encouraged to join Reverend Sandra Campbell's Courageous Conversation Initiative for a discussion on critical race theory, what it is, what it isn't, and why it matters. This will be from 1:30 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time via Zoom, and details are in the bulletin on the web calendar. Monday meditation via Zoom is this week. It's the evening of February 7th. Since this is the first Sunday of the month, happy February. And in Unity tradition, for each month of the year, we set our minds on one of 12 powers of human being. And the power of the month of February is strength. Our affirmation for the month: I have the strength to accomplish all that is mine to do. I have the strength to accomplish all that is mine to do. Strength is the ability to endure, stay the course, persevere. The disciple is Andrew, represents the stability that lies at the foundation of every true character. The corresponding color is light green, and the location is in the small of the back. Since it is the first of the month, we do celebrate birthdays. So if you were here, we would stand, we would sing happy birthday. But since we're live streaming, we're just going to bless you. And, God is blessing you now. Thank you for being part of this ministry, and you are a light in our lives. So this is the time of the service when we would greet our neighbors. We give thanks to all beings blessing us with health and equipping us to connect electronically. We pause to attune ourselves and our hearts, knowing that though we are separated in body, we are united in spirit. So take a deep breath. And just give thanks for this, knowing that we are all connected. You could share your greetings by saying hello in the chat box. And had I brought my phone up, I might read a few, but I'm sure there's lots of you joining us. And whether it's YouTube or Facebook, once again, we are grateful. We welcome today's guest. Unity is a positive, practical approach to Christianity. We are culturally Christian, but we are spiritually unlimited. We honor the many paths to God. And anyone visiting us for the first time, greetings and blessings to you. Once again, like and subscribe to our video channels. Come to get to know us via online discussion groups and classes listed on our website. You can feel free to phone into the office or send us an email. Join for virtual coffee hour after the service. Links to all these remote offerings are there in the description box. And now for our statement of being. God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. And now for our 5 basic Unity principles. Unity's 5 basic principles are our guideposts, tested by experience, reminding us how divine presence unfolds in our lives. Number 1, God is the source and creator of all. God is good and present everywhere. Number 2, we are spiritual beings created in God's image. Number 3, we create our life's experience through our way of thinking. Number 4, There is power in affirmative prayer. And number 5, we live these spiritual principles. Now, when we are in person, we ask for testimonials for those who have seen these principles working in their lives throughout the week. I don't have a story personally to share, but if you do, go ahead and share that in the box, in the chat box on whatever platform you're joining us on, or you can email us. But what I will encourage us to do right now is just to recite this back in the form of the children's principles, how they would read it, because I think it works for a really good affirmation. So we'll just take a deep breath and we'll say, God is, I am, I think, I pray, I do. God is, I am, I think, I pray, I do. And now for the blessing of the prayer requests. At this time, we'll bless our prayer intentions and requests. We'll hold your prayer in your heart and know that it is already answered. Remember that at Unity Village, the Silent Unity Service has been holding prayer vigil for over 130 continuous years. We can reach them day or night by calling 1-800-NOW-PRAY, and a chaplain will pray with you. Ken Walling is our speaker today, and he will be handling the blessing of the prayer request box.
Thank you, Natasha. Take a deep breath with me at home. Whether you've placed a prayer in the box or on your heart, know that it is known. Infinite Spirit, divine grace, we believe that the needs are met. We believe that what is flowing to us is for our highest and best. We affirm that we have eyes to see the grace of God in every request, and we know that they are answered. They are being answered even as I speak. Thank you, Spirit, for this deliverance. Thank you, Spirit, for this guidance. Thank you, Spirit, for this healing, for this wholeness. Thank you, Spirit, for all of the blessings that are coming due, that are at hand here and now. Amen. Good morning. Give me a second to get some stuff set up here. I got a book for us today. And no, I don't need that. I'm not sure if this color comes across. We'll see. I got that too. And last thing, some reading glasses. Thank you for bearing with me. It is an honor to have been asked to speak and to have been given this opportunity to talk to you today about our gift of strength. I'd like to first say hi, Mom, and happy birthday, David Yarrow. And for everybody who has birthdays, I know we've already given you the verbal blessing, but I would just like to say, God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you. You are wonderful, David Yarrow. God is blessing you now. Okay, down to business. How many people did the homework that Sibby assigned to us last week? Did you check out A Grateful Day with Brother David Steindelrost on YouTube or gratefulness.org? I did, and he also gave a TED Talk. There's a lot of stuff out there, and you have to check it out if you haven't yet. It's going to change your day. I'd like to give you a quick intro to the 12 powers so that we have a context for strength, which is what I'll be talking about today. I like to describe the 12 powers as a model that can help us learn about our relationship to the divine. We can avoid confusing any model or metaphor with the truth. Models and metaphors merely point us to the truth. They're not the truth. They help us to better understand one aspect of a thing. They can never take the place of the things they are shining the light on themselves. I think that's important to remember. Sometimes we can learn about something through a metaphor or a model, and we can get caught up in thinking that that's the thing. It's not. It's really it's a pale shadow of the thing that we're really looking at. Ultimate truth always transcends what we can experience with our five senses. And these kinds of models or metaphors are being used to bring a greater awareness to experiences that are entirely meta. And we are using our sensual experiences to further that end. So, meta wisely, my friends. Our 12 Powers model was made popular by our co-founder, Charles Fillmore's book, The 12 Powers of Man. First published in 1930, in it, Charles included the following 12 powers that are aspects of God that make us what we are: faith, strength, love, imagination, power, understanding, wisdom, will, order, release, zeal, and life. Students of Unity will know that we focus on a different power each month of the year, but we are always using each and every one of the powers all the time, as they're ultimately a model of the powers of God that make up human beings. These aren't powers that we can turn on or off. We can't have too much of one and not enough of another, although sometimes it can appear that way. We are perpetually bathed in the light of God, not from somewhere out there, but from within. So, what is this power of strength? We know that the color is light green or spring green. We know the disciple is Andrew, and the location is the small of the back. We can use the revealing word to look up more things about strength. We can do all kinds of research into the details of what we think strength might be and how it applies to us. But in the book we used to study the 12 Powers class that I took with Reverend Paul Hasselbeck, there was a quote by Judith Viorst, who wrote in her book, Love and Guilt and the Meaning of Life, etc. I think Ray might have actually quoted this not that long ago as well, but it's worth repeating. Strength is the capacity to break a Hershey bar into 4 pieces with your bare hands and then eat just one of those pieces. Also from the Power Up Your Life book, I got some interesting stuff. And I think it's particularly pertinent right now, given the turmoil that some of our economics are going through in the job force. Individuals who have developed their strength possess a resilience and endurance that brings them through difficulties, emerging even better than before. Here's an example from research. From 1975 to 1986, psychologist Salvatore Matti tracked 450 employees at Illinois Bell Telephone during and after the breakup of AT&T. I lived through that. I'm sure some of you remember that as well. It was the first time in history that AT&T was ever laying off. Illinois Bell almost halved its workforce in 1 year. Job descriptions and chains of command changed regularly. Even so, 1/3 of the people excelled, maintaining their performance, morale, and health. However, 2/3 fell apart, suffering problems such as anxiety, depression, high blood pressure. Matti found that those who excelled, the hardy, shared the following characteristics. They stayed involved rather than feeling isolated. They tried to influence outcomes rather than lapsing into helplessness. And they chose to learn from their experience rather than feeling threatened by it. Instead of blaming themselves or bosses for the firings, they recognized that the layoffs were due to forces beyond the control of anyone at the company. Seeing that in a broader perspective makes it less terrible, less personal, Matti reported. They were good at giving and receiving help and encouragement, neither too passive to be effective nor too assertive to be sensitive. I think that that's something for us to reflect on in these times. It's my personal story has been one of successes, and I kind of went through a dark period even before the pandemic started. So I kind of, the things that I went through to me, felt like they were mirrored in a lot of things that people went through during the pandemic. And so I'm coming out the other side already. I'm in the light, and life is good. And so for any of you who are still feeling like you're in that tunnel and you still haven't turned the bend and you're still not sure where the light's coming from, have faith that it is coming. Know with your heart, know in your bones that good things are on their way because God is all good and you are a part of God. Julia Cameron, author of the best-selling Artist's Way book, which I have a copy of, it's pretty awesome, talks about strength in terms of how to move past debilitating loss. She says, I learned when hit by loss to ask the right question. What next? Instead of, why me? But the title of this talk is Strength as You. As a written convention, I actually haven't seen it written, but as I gave it, I wanted it to be in all caps. I think that's how it came out. As a written convention, whenever you see one of the 12 powers written in all caps, it means that it's an aspect of God. Or basically, it could be replaced with the word, you could replace the word strength with God, and you wouldn't really change the meaning. To me, though, you'd lose some specificity. I could have said God as you, strength as you, in all caps. It's really the same thing, but we're here to talk about strength and how that aspect shows up in each one of us. To help us get there, I'd like us to consider my blue and red juice potions here. I'm hoping that with enough light that we can see that one is blue and one is red. If you'll permit me to play fast and loose with some sciencey stuff here, we know that we perceive color in a thing based upon reflections of different light frequencies. If we shine light through a prism, we get the full spectrum of the rainbow. We've all seen a rainbow. White light passing through the prism of water after a storm, and we perceive all the colors of the rainbow. It's the image we see on Pink Floyd's cover, The Dark Side of the Moon. I love the song Time, but anyway. White light in, Roy G. Biv out. Roy G. Biv is how I memorized red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Roy G. Biv. It's easier than just sticking all the colors in your head. But anyway, so white light in, the prism, and then out the other side, we get the rainbow. All the colors of the rainbow. We see color, and when we see color, we see the red or the blue. It's because it doesn't absorb all the frequencies of the white light. The color we see is the frequency of light that isn't absorbed. It bounces off the thing and into our eyes. Et voila, a red healing potion and a blue mana potion. For the fantasy gamers out there, they know what I'm talking about. A thing that is black is absorbing all of the frequencies. It's not letting any of the light escape. And a thing that's white is not absorbing any of the frequencies. All the white light is bouncing back. A thing that appears red is absorbing all the frequencies except red, which is bouncing back into our eyes. Likewise, the potion that's blue, bouncing back blue into our eyes, and that's why we see the blue. As magical as these potions might appear, they are only water and food coloring. Here's the important part. The same white light is hitting them both, yet one appears red and the other blue. I've already told you the difference between the two. One has red food coloring added to it, and the other blue. Let us imagine that like the light is hitting these jars, strength is hitting you. The metaphor isn't perfect because we know God isn't out there shining light on us exactly like this. But walk with me for a moment farther on this so we can gain some insight. Light bathes the jars and shows up differently depending upon what the water is holding. Likewise, the same strength bathes us all, and it shows up differently in us depending upon what our minds are holding. The light of God surrounds you. You are the light. That is true at the highest or deepest level, depending upon the model you view the truth through. But we are also how the light of God is being reflected into the world, like this blue or this red, like the color green in a healthy plant. We know that if the plant doesn't get enough light, that the color will change. And we know that if the plant is lacking in nutrients or being assaulted by something hostile to it, the color can change as well. Like the light shining on the planet, the plants, and all of us from the sun, the light of God shines on all things as well. As the light from the sun can be viewed differently through a prism, so too the light of God shows up differently when passed through each of us. But we know that the same light of God shines through each of us. The light from the sun shines down on the crops in the spring and the summer here in central New York, and God knows we have many days when the clouds do their best to block much of it. Yet even given dark days, the truth of the sun is not diminished, and our fields yield bountiful harvests. We are a prosperous and abundant people. We are blessed. We each suffer through some personally cloudy days. And yet, especially if we are walking this path of positive, practical Christianity, we know that the clouds will pass, and we will not be diminished from our personal prosperity. In fact, many times we end up more blessed by what at first appeared to be something less than helpful. Sibby reminded us last week of the story of the ancient magic-like ring that Solomon had that had the inscription, "This too shall pass." If that is our belief, if we hold that in mind so firmly that it becomes an article of faith, then it must impact how strength shows up as us. I believe that this too shall pass. If I believe this in my heart, in my bones, then when the great thing that happens in my life comes to pass, my strength is there to support every fiber of my being to be present to that unfolding gift. So if I believe this too shall pass, and I know it in my heart, I believe it, I have faith that all things in this world are transient, all things pass, then when I see the thing that I've been wanting, that I've been waiting for, and I want to experience the fullness of it, my strength is there to make sure that I am fully aware. My strength is lifting me up. Our strength can lift us up or hold us down, depending upon where I'm placing my faith. If I firmly believe the opposite, if I have faith that doom has come and none will escape, then my strength will ensure that I do nothing to that I do nothing to prove that belief wrong. So if I don't believe that hey, this bad thing that's happening it's going to pass and then good days are coming again, and I'm just stuck in that moment, then my strength is going to support that. My strength is following the flow of my will, of my faith. Sometimes we can focus our strength by becoming aware of what we believe and see what we believe and see how what we believe channels our strength. To share a personal story, I am a compassionate omnivore. I can eat meat, but I choose not to because of my compassion for all conscious beings. Some would say that I'm a vegan. I find the term charged, and it might not be incredibly helpful at all times. Vegetarian is probably a safer phrase, but people love to define and redefine boxes and stick people in it, so I don't know. I'm a compassionate eater. But here's the story. Many people have told me I could never do that. I love my fill in the particular animal product here. I love that too much. I could never give that up. I could never give up cheese. I could never give up meat. I just love it too much. I could never do it. Hey, I get it. I love the taste of most seafood. I love the taste of cheese. I love the taste of prime rib. I grew up eating animals, and I don't judge anybody who still does. But to get what I'm trying to pass along here, you have to understand that I didn't make a change to my diet because the taste of food suddenly became unwelcome. And I didn't start out deciding I was going to become a vegan or a vegetarian. I didn't start with a desire to change my diet at all. That was a consequence of a change in my mind. And here's the insight I can give to strength based upon these experiences. When you operate from the strength of God, your action is effortless. It isn't hard. Oh, me not eating cheese would be impossible, bro, you might say. Yeah, I thought so too. And if you look at the action of not eating something, it will be hard. But I didn't look at changing my diet to change my diet. I had a shift in consciousness that granted me a new thought. I believe that God is everywhere present. Some of you might believe that too. I believe that God is in each of you. But 2, God is in everything I see. God is in the fruit trees and the vegetables. God is in the animals too. The cats and dogs, the horses, the cows, the chickens, the pigs. God is in all of them. I have picked fruit from a tree and plucked vegetables from a plant. Never have I become aware of the plant's suffering. I know that dogs do not have human consciousness. They have what I'd call dog consciousness. Each type of animal has their own type and level of consciousness. Not better or less than human consciousness, but different. Animals that have consciousness can suffer. Nothing that can know suffering wants to suffer. If you find this hard to believe, you're holding a different belief. There's nothing wrong with that, in my eyes. We're all doing the best we can based upon our level of awareness and understanding. My goal here isn't to steer anyone away from eating meat. No pun intended. Okay, I intended the pun. Sometimes I'm a punny guy. It brings me joy. I know this can be a very touchy topic for many people. I hope no one gets so triggered that they miss the message. This is probably the strongest example I have of how my beliefs lead to my strength. That's the important part here. If I didn't believe that animals were suffering merely to please my taste buds, there's no way I could last a week trying to abstain from eating pizza, wings, steak, eggs, and sausage, especially with the pending Super Bowl. But I know how they suffer. How could I ever go back to participating in a system that normalizes the suffering of conscious beings? Honestly, I know there are studies that show all manner of health benefits for those consuming a solely plant-based diet, but I'm less likely to be strong to benefit my own body than I am to avoid harming another's. That's just who I am. But for someone else, that might be the thing that makes the difference for them. That might be the thing that locks in a path for strength to change their eating habits. We are all individuals, so the details will vary, but the principles remain the same. I'm aware that many animals have suffered so that I might please my taste buds, and I'm sorry for that. Today, I know it is needless suffering. My belief, my faith, alters where my strength flows. This belief carves a channel for strength to flow in and through me. Not eating meat isn't hard for me. It is an obvious course of action given my understanding and awareness. What looks like strength is strength, but it is also effortless at the point of me. And believe me, I've spent time looking at myself, my beliefs, and what is informing what appear to be failures of strength in me. I have enough going on to keep myself busy for the next few years. But what about you? Sitting there at home, love streaming this. What do you wish you had the strength to do? Do you wish you had the strength to lose weight? I resemble that sometimes. Has this been a challenge for many years? What belief is directing your strength in ways that give the appearance of weakness? You are not weak. You are strong. But what are you being strong in? Where you place your faith determines where your strength will show up. Only you know. Sit in the silence. The answers are already yours. What is yours to be strong in today? Do you need the strength to stand up to a bully? What do you believe about yourself or others that might be directing your strength away from that success? Maybe you need the strength to stop being a bully. What do you believe about yourself or others that is holding you strong to ways and means that you'd rather change? Do you need to endure something? I think we're all enduring this pandemic still. You will endure it, but will it be an easy endurance with the heavy lifting being done by the strength of God, or will you try to muscle through it with your little ego muscles? The truth is, you are not alone. None of us are alone. You do not need to go through anything alone. And the strength of God is at hand. The strength of God is at hand. It's always there. It is always available. You can't turn it off. It's there. But what are you directing it to do? If you don't sense it in some way you need, examine where you're placing your faith. Faith leads strength. Maybe that would have been a better title for this talk. I don't know. What's in a title? I'm talking about our beliefs. And at the deepest level, our faith and how it leads strength. While none of the 12 powers operate in isolation from one another, we especially cannot talk about strength as you without also considering last month's power focus, which was faith. In the days of yore, before virtual reality became cool for everyone, we used to read a book on the first Sunday of each month because it was the only Sunday of the month that our children were in the sanctuary with us rather than down in the YFM classrooms. In keeping with that tradition, I have a quick book that will shine some light on faith and God as you. We just got this. It's called I Am, Why Two Little Words Mean So Much. And I've already read this to numerous times myself, and I've read it to Dharma and Freya, and they liked it. And they thought that it would be a good idea that we donate this copy to YFM. So we'll be leaving this here so that the teachers can share this with the kids there as well. I don't think this is a good format for everybody to be able to see the pictures right now, but I'm going to read through it really quick because it aligns with us, I think. Hello, my friend. Do you know who I am? Listen carefully to this rhyme and try to guess if you can. Do I live in the clouds so far away? Or is a temple or a church the place that I stay? I am in those places, yes, that is true, but only because I am in you. We are not separate. Wherever you are, I am there. I am in your mind and your heart. I am everywhere. You're like a candle lit from my bright flame. My light is your light. We are one and the same. I am everything that is good and everything that is real. I am the source of all the warmth you feel. I am the part of you that shares and gives from your heart. I am the inspiration behind your music, sports, and art. I am the voice that you hear when you are quiet and still. I am the little bird on your windowsill. I am in everyone you see, young or old, big or small. Believe it or not, I am in them all. Who can I be? I am God, your best friend, and there's really no line where you start and I end. Did you hear what I said? Are you listening? For you will be amazed at what this knowledge will bring. You will live your life knowing it is never just you, and that we are together in all that you do. Along the way, you will find great happiness and love, and you'll learn that wishes come true from within, not above. So don't look to the sky when you're looking for me. Look right at yourself, and that's where I'll be. Thank you, Brother Dr. Dwayne W. Dyer with Krista Tracy. I am. Why two little words mean so much. Pulling a few ideas out of there. There's a lot of I am statements. I am sharing. I am giving. I am inspiration. I am everything that is good. I am the source. Maybe you identified with some of the things that Dr. Wayne Dyer asserted in this book for children. I feel this book reflects the truths we affirm in our statement of being. If these kinds of thoughts were the only thoughts in our consciousness and subconscious minds, conscious and subconscious minds, the appearance of strength within each of us might be nearly identical. But we each have a multitude of other beliefs that might be changing the color of our water. So if we want to experience the strength of God within us or as us, perhaps the first thing we could try to do is take stock of what beliefs we've carved channels for strength to flow through in us. If we can imagine strength flows like a river, then our beliefs chart the course the river will take. Sometimes the truth is much deeper. Sometimes we are strong because of a deep sense of who we are and the love that we feel for one another, ourselves, and God. But spending time in the silence, by spending time in the silence, spending time in prayer and meditation, we can increase the appearance of our strength that is flowing from the depth of our awareness of verity. Verity is got to look that one up, right? So our consciousness, we can be operating from a range, a spectrum of belief systems and realities, and it starts down with victim, right? We can believe that we're a victim, why me? And then we can conquer that. We can move on to victor, and I keep getting stuck here. After victor, then we have vessel, right? So when there's a victor consciousness, some people are still losing. When there's vessel consciousness, then I think I'm very often in vessel consciousness. I feel like God is moving through me. I still have like a little bit of a notion of separation between myself and God, I'm the hands of God, God is working through me. But at the point of verity, that's that highest level of consciousness, that's the Christ consciousness. That's that place where our way show, where Jesus operated from, I and the Father are one. That's a little harder to grasp and hold. But that's, I think, the goal. I think that's a good goal to have. Oh, let's see. So, by paying attention to where we are consciously placing our faith, we can predict where our strength will flow. Before we start our meditation, which I'll end with, I too would like to assign you all some homework. In honor of Black History Month, I have a quote from Howard Thurman. In the stillness of the quiet, if we listen, we can hear the whisper of the heart, giving strength to weakness, courage to fear, hope to despair. Your homework is to check out Howard Thurman's page on Wikipedia or elsewhere on the interwebs and learn something new about him. I'll get you started. He was a Baptist minister, a civil rights leader, and a mystic. Very interesting fellow. And now is the time that we meditate. This is going to be a combination affirmation meditation. We could call it a call and response meditation. I'm going to give you a positive I am affirmation, and I'd like you to respond with, my strength flows with my faith. My strength flows with my faith. For extra personal points, you can take note of any of these where something might come up for you and mentally mark them down for you to follow up on later. If you feel like a little tug at something and you know maybe you don't feel fully aligned with it. Let's take a deep breath together now. And let all these thoughts that I've just shaken up kind of settle down and drift down into your heart. Take a deep breath again. And you can let it out easy and slow. You can close your eyes if you like, or you can soften your gaze on one spot in the room. Breathe in deep with me again. The response is going to be, my strength flows with my faith. I am trusting. My strength flows with my faith. I am strong. My strength flows with my faith. I am wise. My strength flows with my faith. I am loving. My strength flows with my faith. I am powerful. My strength flows with my faith. I am imaginative. My strength flows with my faith. I am understanding. My strength flows with my faith. I am willing. My strength flows with my faith. I am organized. My strength flows with my faith. I am zealous. My strength flows with my faith. I am releasing. My strength flows with my faith. I am alive. My strength flows with my faith. I am healthy. My strength flows with my faith. I am joyful. My strength flows with my faith. I am forgiving. My strength flows with my faith. I am patient. My strength flows with my faith. I am truthful. My strength flows with my faith. I am compassionate. My strength flows with my faith. I am peaceful. My strength flows with my faith. I am grateful. My strength flows with my faith. I am humble. My faith flows with my strength. My strength flows with my faith. I am strong. My strength flows with my faith. Amen. Take another deep breath and let that resonate in your heart. And when you're ready, you can come back to this place. You can open your eyes. You can be here now with us again in Love Streaming Land. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for inviting me into your phone or your home or wherever you're watching this. It's been an absolute pleasure being here with you today. I miss you all so very much, those of you who I know personally. And I hope to see you all again soon. Namaste.
All right. Thank you so much, Ken, for that offering. It was, I just feel incredibly blessed to even just be here with you. It's been so long since we've got to hear your words, and I know that there's virtual clapping galore going on around the metaverse out there. So once again, just thank you, for all the inspiring wisdom that you offered today. Our mission statement here at Unity of Syracuse inspires, awakens, and transforms lives through unlimited love, prayer, and service. Now is the time of our service when we would pass around the basket to receive the tithes, the gifts, and the love offerings. We invite you to give through our donate button on our website, or you can mail your gift to Unity of Syracuse, 300 West Seneca Turnpike, Syracuse, New York, 13207. You may wish instead to sign up for regular electronic giving via our website. The strength and substance of our church is what we offer to one another, including our time, our talent, and our treasures. So let us say together, divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, you are my source. And we bless this abundant supply that is given to further the work of our ministry. We give in love and are blessed by Spirit's constant outpouring of good. We live in an abundant world. Thank you, God. And to bless our children, while we are in this remote-only service mode, our youth and family ministries is meeting via Zoom at 10 a.m. before service stream. If you would like to involve your child with our thriving and edifying virtual Sunday school, please contact the office or our email address is listed in that description box. Now we call to mind all the young people in our lives, our descendants with whom we grow and welcome the future. We bless our children wherever they are. We see them surrounded by love and light throughout the week. We have a thriving and edifying youth and family ministry. Thank you to our YFM families, teachers, and directors. And thanks to all of you for being part of our service today via live stream, and all of those working behind the scenes. Let us go forth with this benediction, our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Namaste. Have a good week, family.
Let this be the moment now.